Vice President.
He called himself Abraham. He called him Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had.
He called him Abraham Lincoln.
He pours fuel on
Because he said Trump called himself Abraham Lincoln.
He didn't call himself Abraham Lincoln.
Did he?
He said he's the least racist since.
Oh.
Mexican rapists.
Oh, Jesus.
He banned Muslims because they're Muslims.
This is a
He moved
disaster.
around and made everything worse
This is
across
very
the
sad.
board. He says about the poor boys. Last time we were on stage here, he said, I told him to stand down and stand ready. Come on.
Come on,
this
man.
This guy has a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
That's where it went south.
Here we go.
You made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in?
You said you're Abraham Lincoln.
Where did that? No. You said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community.
And I'm saying,
I didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln.
No, he's laughing at his own joke. Look at Joey Biden. He's smiling ear to ear. He's grinning, man.
Has anybody done
He's Abraham
what I've done
Lincoln.
for the black community?
and I'm
I didn't
saying,
say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since.
Pause it a second.
What?
Pause it. When Biden said Abraham Lincoln here, he was being funny.
Oh,
Did you get it? He was sorry. It was satire.
my God. We got to go back and hear this shit
Abraham
again.
Lincoln here, he said. He's calling him Abraham Lincoln.
What a big ass joke.
started off his campaign coming down the escalator saying he's going to get rid of those Mexican rapists. He's banned Muslims because they're Muslims. He has moved around and made everything worse across the board. He says about the poor boys. Last time we were on
He was
stage,
Abraham
he
Lincoln
said,
here.
"I
He
told him
knows
to
he ain't
stand
Abraham.
down
He was
and
joking.
stand
Oh, you think he's a satire? He's a poor excuse for Abraham Lincoln.
It was
About as big as a
funny.
foghorn.
It was hilarious.
Trump, I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
Well,
to
Trump
respond.
really pounced on that, man.
You made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean, you said
Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, it's the best laugh. Disaster.
made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
You said you're Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, he said it.
No, you said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done
That's a disaster.
what I've done for the black community.
And I'm
I
saying,
didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln. has
What a
anybody
damn
done
joke.
What I've done for the black.
I can't wait to hear his response to this. You-
The crime bill.
He did nothing now.
That-
Oh, God. It's going south again.
Black men mostly in jail.
All right.
And you know what?
Let me
They
ask
remember it
Vice
because if
President
you
Biden
look
a
at what's
question.
happening with the voting right now,
Let me ask
they
Vice
remember
President
that you
Biden
treated them
about-
very, very badly.
This
Just
is-
take a look at what's happening out there.
Vice President Biden, let me give you a chance
He's
to
smiling.
respond.
Oh, my God. They remember you. They remember. They're going to remember all this years to come for the comedy skits.
Who had small amounts of drugs in their possession. They are sons, they are brothers, they're fathers, they're uncles.
Who's the winner, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, man?
How can you say
So
you're
speak to
gonna
those
win?
families.
Which one's more humorous?
one of the things is that in the 80s, we passed
Oh, now the 80s.
100%, all 100 senators voted for it, a bill on drugs and how to deal with
Drugs, man. Reagan, drug.
I've been
He knows a lot of
trying to
weed
change
smokers.
particularly the
That's
push
Joe
on
Biden.
cocaine. That's why I've been arguing that, in fact, we should not send anyone to jail for a pure drug offense.
Oh,
They should be
really?
going into
Smoke that weed.
what we should be spending money. That's why I set up drug courts, which were never funded by our Republican friends. They should not. be
Oh, this
going to jail
debate will make you
for
shit
a
out of your
drug
mouth
or
and
an
out of your
alcohol
rear
problem.
end.
They should be going into treatment.
It'll make you shit in every
Treatment.
direction.
That's what we've been trying to do. That's what I'm going to get
Well,
going.
what's to do with
because
the
I think
treatment?
maybe-
Trump's not Abraham Lincoln, though. Let's remember that.
That in fact it was a mistake to pass those laws related to drugs. But they
Can't wait to hear Trump talk about how he drank drugs and drank alcohol.
It's all talk, no action with these politicians.
There it is, all
Why
talk,
did
no
you get
action.
it? That's what I'm going to do.
Daddy's favorite
when I
phrase.
become president. You were vice president along with Obama as your president, your leader, for 8 years. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years to get it done. Now you're saying...
In 8 years, maybe Trump will release his tax returns.
Yeah, maybe.
We got a
You'll
lot of
actually
it
get
done.
that health
We released
program
38,000
together,
They
too.
got 38,000 prisoners left from the...
You got nothing done.
38,000
This is
prisoners
sick.
were released from federal prison. We
This
had-
is a disaster.
There were over 1,000 people who were given clemency. In fact, we're the ones that put in the legislation saying we could look at pattern and practice of police departments and what they were doing, how they were conducting themselves.
How are the police conducting themselves,
We
Mom?
began the process. We began the process. We lost an election.
I don't blame you. This is
That's
just...
why I'm running.
This
To
whole
win back
debate's
that
just like a
election
giant
and
crap.
change this terrible policy.
I just asked one question. Why didn't you do it in the 8 years, a short time ago? Why didn't you do it? You just
These
said,
fish
I'm
must
gonna
love
do
it.
that, I'm going to do this. You put tens of thousands of mostly black young men in prison.
This is
now
a
you're saying
disaster.
you're going to undo that. Why didn't you get it done? You had 8 years with Obama. You know why, Joe? Because you're all talk and no action.
All right, Vice President, and then we're going to move on to the next section.
We had a Republican Congress.
That's the most silent it's ever been, Mom. That's the most silent I've ever heard those two men.
You're all talk.
Hey, shut up for
All right,
1
Vice
second.
President Biden, and then we're gonna
Finally
move on
made
to
a
the
good
next
statement.
section.
We had a Republican Congress. That's the answer.
Well,
Okay.
you got to talk them into it, Joe.
All right.
He said you gotta talk him into it.
Was it?
Why?
Was it?
Why? Because it's getting funny again?
I can't hear it with this guy over here talking. This little-
Who's talking?
The ghost.
Make him talk.
Talk them into it.
We're going to move on to our next section.
Like I
which
did
is
with criminal
climate
justice reform. I had
Okay.
to talk Democrats into it.
Gentlemen, we're running out of time, so we got to get on to climate change, please.
It's funny.
All right.
You got to talk them
I'll pause it for you.
To our next section,
Like I
which
did
is
with criminal justice reform. I had to
Okay.
talk Democrats into it.
Gentlemen, we're running out of time, so we got to get on to climate change, please.
Climate change. We're done.